a written production of the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated and is intended for the sole purpose of informing our Recreation Center members. Any duplication, copying, transmission, broadcast, or use, including electronic and social media, is strictly prohibited without the prior written consent from the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated. Thank you for watching.
I suppose so. Good evening. Good evening.
I can hear you. Hello? I can't hear anything.
Good evening. My name is Kat Fimmel, and I am the president of the 2023. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Good evening. My name is Kat Fimmel, and I am the president of the 2023 RCSC Board of Directors. Joining me this evening is Jean Totten, secretary of the 2023 Board of Directors, and Marcia Johnson, the corporate executive coordinator. I would like to begin by asking any directors who are present to please rise and be acknowledged. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can applaud for them. They've worked very hard. That's worthy of applause. I would also like to ask if there are any candidates in the room who would like to stand and be recognized as well. Thank you. I welcome you to the 2023 annual membership meeting, and thank you for attending this evening. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we get started, let's take a moment to take out our electronic devices and cell phones and things that make noise and put them into the silent mode. I call this annual membership meeting to order. The first order of business is the membership quorum verification. Secretary Totten, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Madam President, we have a quorum.
Yay!
We have 628 members in attendance, including verified proxies. Thank you all.
Okay. As a result, we will move forward into old business. The first order of business is approval of the minutes of the December 13, 2021 meeting. And there were copies of that at the back of the room for you. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing and seeing no corrections, the minutes will be approved as written. New business. I will call the names of the members who have submitted agenda items. They'll be called one at a time. I ask that each member read their motion. Once the motion has been read, a second will be requested, and the maker of the motion will be permitted an opportunity to speak. The maker of the first motion is Mr. Thomas Marone. Mr. Marone, please approach the microphone.
Can you hear me? Tom Marone, 100825. I make a motion to amend the bylaws, Article 4, titled Membership Meetings, by inserting the following. The meeting minutes of the annual membership meeting or any special membership meeting shall be approved by 3 current officers of the board within 2 weeks after the adjournment of such a meeting and posted on the RCSC website.
Is there a second? I hear a second. Thank you. Mr. Marone, do you wish to speak with regard to this motion?
Yes, I do. The minutes of a meeting, whether any business was conducted or not, is the permanent record that the meeting was in fact held in accordance with the requirements of the bylaws. But when the next scheduled meeting is more than 3 months away, it is recommended that those minutes be approved in a more timely manner, and this bylaw will do that. We all remember how it took 12 years to finally approve the minutes from the 2009 membership meeting. This motion does not prevent any necessary corrections to be made to those minutes at the next scheduled meeting.
Is there any comments from the membership? Seeing none. Yes, yes. Please come to the microphone, please.
With email
Could you give us your name and number?
Melinda Wills, 136487.
Thank you.
With email technology, why can't all the board sign off on these minutes? Rather than just restrict it to 3.
Mr. Marone, did you want to comment?
Well, I guess the reason, I guess we have the 3,
Microphone, Tom.
we have 3 officers specified to approve the minutes, and I think that's all that's really necessary. We don't need 9 people. And if there are any corrections that need to be made, the corrections can be made at the next scheduled meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Please come to the microphone.
Richie Miller, 103-368. I really object to this. If we have a meeting of all of these people, these are the people that should approve the minutes of that meeting, not board members. It should remain in the realm of this meeting. Membership should approve the minutes.
Thank you. Mr. Marone, do you wish to respond?
Well, just going by our parliamentary authority, highly recommends that if you're not going to hold another meeting within a quarterly time period, which is in 3 months, they recommend that you have a committee approve the minutes. And that does not prevent us from reapproving the minutes at the next meeting. It just finalizes them so that they can be posted out to the public.
Thank you. Do we have any further comments? Okay. If there are no further comments, then I will reread the motion, and then you will be able to take a vote. This is an amendment to Article 4, Membership Meeting, Section 7, Meetings Minutes. The meeting minutes of the annual membership or any special membership meeting shall be approved by 3 current officers of the board within 2 weeks after the adjournment of such meeting and be posted on the RCSC website. We will now conduct a voice vote. All those in favor of this motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Aye. I believe the ayes have it. Are you in agreement, Ms. Totten? Motion passes. Okay. Motion said motion carries. The maker of the second motion is Ms. Lori Ellingson. Ms. Ellingson, please approach the microphone.
I am recommending that we amend Board Policy Number 10, titled RCSC Rules and Regulations, Code of Conduct, item number 5, as follows. Currently, it is written, cardholders will not reprimand or discipline any RCSC employee or interfere in the management of RCSC. Comments and complaints may be submitted in writing and dropped into comment card boxes located throughout RCSC facilities or reported to management. My recommendation is that we strike, my motion is to strike the first sentence entirely under Code of Conduct number Section 5. The reason for this? To use the word reprimand or discipline is not applicable in this situation, since cardholders are not in a position of authority, nor are they in a manager or a supervisor position. Cardholders are not in a situation where they are officially able to correct a behavior. Webster's dictionary defines reprimand as if someone is reprimanded, they were spoken to angrily or seriously for doing something wrong, usually by a person in authority. If you're reprimanded, someone in authority speaks to you in an angry way because you've done something wrong. A reprimand is an official warning that a manager or a supervisor gives to an employee in an attempt to improve unwanted behavior. The Cambridge English Dictionary defines reprimand as to express to someone your strong official disapproval of them. If you're reprimanded, someone in authority speaks to you in an angry way because you've done something wrong. Therefore, using the word reprimand is not appropriate in this motion. Discipline. Oxford Dictionary defines it as the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. The word discipline means instruction and training. It is derived from the root word discern, to learn. The practice of training people to obey rules and orders and punishing them if they do not is discipline. Cardholders are not in a situation where they would be disciplining employees. Therefore, to say that cardholders are not allowed to interfere in the management of RCSC is too vague and subjective. That wording is open to an individual's interpretation and personal opinion of how it would interfere with management. Simply speaking with another person to gain answers about a project should be allowed. If management were to leave this policy as written, they would need to justify their reasoning for not allowing any individual to collect facts, documentation, or gather information on proposed projects. Telling someone that they are not allowed to investigate, question, or obtain the truth concerning a project is an authoritative way of management. The residents in this community are deeded homeowners with a contractual facilities agreement, and therefore have civil rights to ask questions about how their money is being spent. When a deeded homeowner discovers that management is not acting in good faith and not adhering to their fiduciary duties, they have an obligation to take part with that situation out of necessity. Albert Einstein is quoted as saying, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch and do nothing." Dr. Martin Luther King stated, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." Wendy Jade said, "An environment that is not safe to disagree and is not an environment focused on growth, it's an environment focused on control." George Washington stated this, "If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may lead like sheep to the slaughter." Therefore, I think it's important that the members in this community are allowed, when they see something that is not right, and they know that people lie, facts don't, they are allowed to voice their opinion.
Thank you. Ms. Ellingson, may I ask you to give us your member number, please?
133335.
Okay. And you are wishing to make a change to Board Policy 10, Item 5. Would
That
you
is
like to
correct.
read what the new Item 5 would say?
Yes.
Thank you.
Be kind. Abusive language, harassment, or bullying of staff will not be tolerated. We appreciate your input. Please use member comment forms to share your thoughts. All concerns will be acknowledged as received within 2 business days and responded to within 7 to 10 business days.
Thank you. Do we have a second? I second it. We have a second. Thank you. Are there any members that wish to comment? We have several members. Thank you.
Shirley Gerhardt, 134670. My only concern would be must be acknowledged as received within 2 business days and responded within 7 to 10 business days. I'm not sure if the board thinks this is enough time for them, and I want to make sure that us, the members, are giving enough time to the board.
Thank you.
Good evening. Alex Pannone, 140359. I don't have any problem changing the board policy, but we're not enforcing the current board policies we have, and the board is taking a blind eye on these. So why are we making any changes when management doesn't enforce the policies that we currently have? Would you like me to elaborate on that?
No,
You're not enforcing the policies we currently have. So why are we changing policies that you're not going to enforce?
Bill Pearson, 133438. A point of order here. If memory serves me, we recently changed our documents and clarified them to say that annual membership meetings members' ability to make motions was on bylaw changes. Board policies is considered business of the board. I think you can take it as a recommendation and then respond if I'm following the documents that you just changed this year. So just as a point of order, I'm not sure the motion is germane before the body. Thanks.
Thank you.
I rise also to a point of order. I'm looking at Section 5 of the bylaws as revised on November 16th, 2023. Voting procedures at membership meetings. Voting shall be by members in good standing present at any meeting of the members. The following procedures shall apply for ballot voting. Are we going to have ballot voting?
We made a motion, yes. We've already changed the bylaws to permit the...
When was that?
That was at the last meeting.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And the purpose was that we would not require ballot voting, but rather use these other methods of voting, and if necessary, do ballot voting. And we are prepared to do ballot voting, but thus far it has not been necessary.
I guess, sorry, Kat, I guess I didn't hear you. Did you ask me to elaborate on the policies that management and the board are not enforcing?
No, I actually didn't, sir, but
Somebody back there said that when I said, would you like me to elaborate, they said that you would. I've sent you plenty of emails currently of the policies that management and the board are not enforcing. I don't want to make them public here, but we really need to fix, if you're going to have policies and you're going to enforce them, you're opening up this membership to lawsuits, because if you pick one policy and don't enforce it, and then you enforce another policy, that other policy that you enforced is not going to happen because of the policy that you didn't enforce. So if you want to call me, you've been ignoring my emails. So, you know, and Steve Collins has been ignoring my emails, and management's been ignoring my emails. We're not following board policies, and you need to do something about that. Let's talk offline.
thank you. Are there any other comments from the members? Ms. Ellison?
I'd also like to add to that statement. The way that the comment forms, it says that you can share your thoughts. The problem is that sometimes the complaints are written about a person that collects the comment cards, and the comment is thrown away before it is even turned into management. Or the comment is concerning somebody in senior management, and that comment is disregarded as well. The other issue is many of the comments are never responded to, the issue is ignored, and there is little or no follow-up. Therefore, I would like the sentence to be rewritten to include an acknowledgement of the form within the 2 days, just so that person knows that that form has been received. And then the follow-up response within 7 to 10 business days. And again, not that something is actually resolved, but that they are responding and they are aware of the situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional comments from the membership? Seeing none, I will go ahead and reread the motion. It's a motion to Board Policy 10, Rules and Regulations, to read as follows. Item 5, be kind. Abusive language, harassment, or bullying of staff will not be tolerated. We appreciate your input. Please use a member comments for format to share your thoughts. All concerns will be acknowledged within 2 days. Will be acknowledged as received within 2 days and responded to within 7 to 10 business days. We will now conduct the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. I think the nays are. Okay. Well, you're calling for a ballot, but I think the nays have that.
No, ballot.
Wait,
Well, before we get to, give me one moment, please. Yes. Okay, well, before we're going to get to a ballot, there are other methods for doing this, which include standing. We can take a standing vote. So all those in favor, please stand. I would have to say most people are standing. Okay, please be seated. Those opposed, please stand. Yeah, clearly the yeses have it. Yes. Okay, so the motion, oh, hang on. Are we going to have to count them now? 59? I don't know what to do with that.
68, 69, 70.
Okay, give me one moment, please. I'm going to call for the election committee for 1 moment, please, to come to the stairway. A ballot vote will be taken.
Oh, they wanted me to help.
You're going to go, okay.
Well, because they thought Tom had a
No, Tom
conflict of
said,
interest.
no, Tom says he thinks he's okay because it's not his motion.
All right, then I'll ask her if she wants it.
So okay.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, you may disagree, but I asked.
I know.
Karen,
That's okay.
she's in charge of the
I'm
election.
used to not having people agree with me.
I'm with you, but I know you are.
I just,
I know. She says that she will.
I'm trying to think where Tom says, what was it? Tom says that he thinks it can.
What if you should announce? Say after you announce that they're about to hand them to the left. Is it, well, they're right? To that direction.
You tell her. It's administrative, so.
Hello. After you're done doing your ballot, please hand it that direction and then at the end of the aisle, we'll pick them all up and put them in a ballot box, okay? So the person on the end, just hold on to them until we come with the ballot box, and you can stick them in there.
Thank you.
I'm going down there, where to go?
Well, again, I'm in the minority. I told Tom earlier in an email yesterday and today, I disagree with the motion that Karen made. I don't believe, in my opinion, that that wiped out ballot voting. I think you should have taken the rest of the I'm sorry?
Now the two of them are going to debate. Maybe somebody else.
I just wish Bill had said something before this, that's all. As usual. Who's counting? Huh? Here.
It's magic.
These were the dates that things had to be in. Oh, yes, there it is right there. Yeah, this is
Okay.
good. So is that something that we need to change?
No. No.
I thought, yeah, because I thought the board was in charge of making policy.
And we are, but if the numbers wanted to be changed, how would they get it changed? This is the only way to get it changed.
This is
This is the only way to do it.
Okay. So this is motion number 2. I'm going to keep it so I know what color was what.
Yes.
Okay. Where's Karen at? And is there ballots in there? I don't get them. They got to go count them somewhere. The elections committee. Denny, then why don't you take them? Are those empty?
What is he talking about? He says it says what we just passed. What did we just pass? I don't have the latest, October 26th. I don't think we should.
Go back there and hurry them. I think we should stay the course. How long do you think it's
How
going to
much
take?
longer, how close are they getting to counting?
Absolutely. I've got nothing better to do. I haven't even had dinner yet. It's a start. They make even McDonald's milkshake look good. All the time. Well, if we're going to go out to eat, that would be my number. Exactly. We split a meal. We got the little one here. And it's good, and the service is good.
There's always a choice.
Oh, yeah.
There's no choice. But they have either vegetable or tomato or potato soup.
Like if I'm going to have french fries, I'll put potato. They get better for you than just salad. It's got a family feel to it. It's got a family feel to it. Obviously, they take good care of their employees.
And I'll tell you, they're all moving around so quickly. Who needs to turn on air conditioning or ventilation? There's enough of them going back and forth. The breeze is always there.
And when I'm there, you got the hot air there, too.
He said that it says it. Otherwise, what you said was we're giving the membership a chance to change policy. If we don't do it here, they never have an opportunity to change policies. Yeah, I looked quick to see. It did say that by October such ever that they had to submit their motion for either the bylaw change or but now Bill says whatever we did at the last meeting, board meeting, he said you're going against what you just approved at the last board meeting, and I don't know what he's talking about. We approved the business about that.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything
Just
else.
representing the budget. Yeah. That's all I'm doing.
We don't have those out. We got the summary.
Well, I sent them to you guys. my launch and then 10:30.
Yeah, my second place would be two. It's the same way like all deer flies. They bite your ear. Yeah, they did.
That was the rest of the committee that went up stage. I was surprised there's only 3 people up there, but usually there's 10, right? So the absent 7 are those people that showed up there. And here, I wonder if this is the answer. I don't know.
Oh, then we have to keep a quorum in order to keep the meeting. Yeah. Well, we'll be able to tell if people start walking
By the way,
out.
this is a new deck.
I don't
Just
know
did
whether
this 2 months ago.
I thought maybe they were in the kitchen, but I don't.
Last week. In fact, the apple ceiling, new lighting. Right. The floor is brighter.
I don't know whether you're going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Last July, the session was really good.
Done by now. Ahead. Democracy. Democracy.
I'll use that as a veteran's coffee.
too much longer. Almost done.
That's what I'm trying to get around. That's what I'm trying to stop. Board's already voted on it once, unanimous, with me, but I wanted to bring it up here. I know they probably is. That's what I'm trying to get rid of.
Because I asked Tom what his work was done, so what he was done there.
This is also a test of our patience. I'm laughing.
Can I make an announcement about the fact that once a quorum has been established, a quorum must be maintained? Do you want to read that? Just to let people know that we better not leave? I couldn't tell you how many people have left. I've seen some.
Here she comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats.
You gotta say it, they can't hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats.
Gina's the one that's supposed to call.
Is that substance? Or against? Are they against her life? We don't have any issues with percentages, do we? No. Okay. I would read before the against and abstain.
After a ballot vote of the membership, 56 abstained, 273 were for, and 300 were against.
The motion fails. We will move on to motion number 3. Mr. Marone.
Tom Marone, 100825. I move to amend board policies by removing Board Policy 27, titled Standing Committees and placing it back into the bylaws as Article 13, titled Committees, with the inclusion of the statement that all standing and special committees may be amended, modified, revised, or revoked by the directors with a majority vote. And as we move these board policies over, we're also going to add in Section 1, right now it states that committees do not meet during the months of July and August, and we're including the words unless approved by the board president so that we can hold them. And we're also adding under members of committees, item D, stating that committees may specify membership requirements based on previous experience, knowledge, and/or expertise.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. Mr. Marone, do you wish to speak further to this motion?
I do. The reason for this motion is because, according to our parliamentary authority, many of the standing committees meet the conditions that require them to be in the bylaws. When it comes to amending a standing committee, the voting requirements for those in the bylaws are slightly stricter than those in standing committees and the board policies. So rather than placing these committees in two different locations with two different voting requirements to amend them, this motion allows for all the committees to be located in a single document with the same voting threshold for all.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the membership? Please come to the microphone. Give us your name and your number. Thank you.
Good evening. Craig Iser, 107-258. I have a few comments on this. As far as transferring the policy to the different groupings, I don't have a comment on that. I haven't studied it. However, in the first paragraph, all standing and special committees may be amended, modified, revised, et cetera, that's really not necessary. It's already covered in the first sentence, in the first part, so I would think that that's not necessary to change. Under standing committees, approved by the board president, it also isn't necessary because it doesn't state that you cannot have a meeting in July or August. It just says that you don't. So in actuality, you may. So it doesn't need any improvement. It just, they can call it and it can happen. If it stated it doesn't or it must not, then that would be different. And then on Section D, committees may specify membership requirements based on previous experience, knowledge, and/or expertise. I don't believe the committee specifies what is necessary for the membership requirements. That's the board or whoever sets the committee up would have to do that. But the committee shouldn't be the creator of what the requirements are of the committee. So I don't think I would say I would be against passing that based on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richie Miller, 103-368. A couple of more just comments on the standing committees in board policy number 27. It states, whereas Article 6 of the corporate bylaws empowers the RCSC board to create or eliminate. That's wrong. Article 6 is officers. It says the same thing 3 times in the policy that he's trying to move. There's another concern that I really have. The Articles of Incorporation, Article 8, paragraph 4. The bylaws may be amended, modified, revised, or revoked by the directors or the members. In the event of conflict concerning the bylaws as amended, modified, revised, or revoked by the directors, the action of the members shall prevail. In my opinion, if we pass this, we're passing a really, really imperfect document into the bylaws that may or may not be able to be changed by the directors. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd vote against it.
Got that. Norm Dixon, 2429. I agree with what went before. Oh, by the way, we didn't have to wait here 20 minutes. We could have kept on with the meeting, and you could have reported the voting results later. But what I see here, we have membership meetings, committees, and it's for the members, and they can make recommendations to the board. They cannot make decisions. And this has always been this way, that the members are running the meeting, the members discuss the topics, the members determine the topics, and so it is a member-run operation. But if we put in words like, all standing and special committees may be amended, modified, revised, or revoked by the directors at a majority vote, we've just turned over every membership meeting to the board. And we don't need to do that. I trust the members to come up with good ideas. And the same goes for the following issues. I don't care whether it's in the bylaws or the articles, I don't care. But I don't want to have this kind of wording, which is going to do damage to the members' authority. I don't want that put in for any reason. So let's leave it the way it is and defeat this.
Thank you.
I would have to agree exactly what he said, and one of the issues that we have problems getting volunteers. And if we put it in the board's hands, where if they don't like what that committee's doing, they could just abolish it, we'll get no volunteers whatsoever. So I think we really just need to leave it where it is, and if we give the board the power to make the decisions to get rid of any committee that they want to get rid of because they don't like them. And we know that's true. And I know people don't want to hear that, but the board does do things not in the best interest of this community. So I vote that we strike this down.
Thank you.
Emma Jean Ida, 115631, and I agree with this gentleman. In the past, the board has eliminated different committees, and it's really, upset the membership. So I think this is really a bad idea.
Thank you.
I'm Lana Williams, 159495. I'm on the Strategic Alternatives Committee for Mountain View. The board does not listen, and if we present something, it goes against a board member's personal agenda, is tossed out, and their own agenda is presented to the Sun City residents. So anything we present will never get approved. I can see the SAC being eliminated because we do not agree with the board. So what changes? Norm was 100% correct. Another thing, when a board member is on a committee, they have no business having a vote. They are not supposed to have a vote. But inevitably on the SAC, they were allowed to vote even after they were told not to. So I want to strike this down.
Thank you. Are there any further comments from the membership? Thank you. I will read the motion. This is an amendment to Board Policy 27, titled Standing Committees, and placing it back into the bylaws as Article 13, titled Committees, with the inclusion of a statement that all standing committees and special committees may be amended, modified, revised, or revoked by the directors with a majority vote, including with a majority vote. Okay? We will now take the vote. All those in favor of this motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. I think the nays have it. Okay. The maker of the fourth motion is Russ Toman. Mr. Toman, please approach the microphone.
Thank you. Russ Toman, 13-1983. I move we cancel and do not use the RCSC contracted design and construction plans provided by CCBG Architects and Alston Construction, option 2. This cancellation is really a protection measure for RCSC in a financial way. It's ending the process on this engagement. Option 2 is not favorably thought of with most of our members because of its costs far exceed the RCSC budget and has unknown completion date for all the relocated amenities. This option is not a smart decision for RCSC. The Strategic Alternatives Committee was created and produced several improved, cost-effective design and building ideas on the Mountain View redo for the Board of Directors to consider in 23 and in 2024. So I recommend the cancellation of the Mountain View Option 2 contracts with CCBG Architects and Alston Construction Company.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Mr. Toman, did you have any further comments, or?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments from the membership?
Emma Jean Ida, 115631. I don't think we have enough information. Thank you. I don't think we have enough information to make a good judgment on this. There's no presentation of what option 1 and 2 is or anything like that. So I move that we don't even make a vote on this.
Thank you.
I was going to say what she was saying. If we really don't have enough information, are we still paying them money? Is this just a plan that pieces of it can be used? Are we still spending money with these people? Without this information, I don't think a valid vote can be taken because we don't know what really is going on with this.
Thank you.
Hi, Kathleen Strawn, 144364. And I was going to say the same thing. I don't know what the plans are. I don't know what we've paid, if we still owe them money, if it's an ongoing thing. You know, and are we just going to throw money away? We've had plans and then we decide we don't use them. I don't know. Well, I don't think we have information to vote on this, so I would hope we don't vote on this at this time.
Thank you.
Hi, Tom Swenson, 135906. I'm tempted to answer a lot of the people's questions, but that's not really what I should do. But I do know one number. One number is that we have already paid this company $400,000. Which will be lost with the cancellation of the contract. And there's the cost, the estimate on that plan for a new theater, brand new theater, 450 seats, was $11.5 million. This was 2 years ago, so we know the costs have gone up. Marlene's and Associates estimate was about the same number, but it included only renovating the current 60-year-old building and dropping from 450 to 320 seats. I think a sane board would take a look with all the information they have gotten to see that that original plan, at least for the Performing Arts Center, is reasonable. And I would hate to have you throw away the $400,000 when you might use it in the future.
Thank you.
Dave Whelan, 17077. This motion, I'm going to abstain on. I understand what he was doing, but I had no idea what he was talking about. I find it poorly written. I didn't know it was about Mountain View. It needs to be more precise. If you're going to make a motion to cancel a contract, you should state everything, where it is, why you're doing it, the reasoning, things of that nature. Otherwise, that's all I have to say on it.
Thank you.
Lana Williams, 159495. I'm going to cut this shorter than I have here. Okay, option 2, which is the plan by CCBG, recommended for Mountain View and approved by the previous board. In June of 2020, ad hoc recommended a state-of-the-art performing arts center, multi-purpose combined auditorium, fitness building, pools, without sacrificing activities that have always been enjoyed at Mountain View. Does the board think that that plan got as far as it did without the residents' approval? Okay, that option was not given any further consideration by the new board. Why? Because one board member did not get what she wanted. Her only goal was to turn Mountain View into a pickleball center. Yes, we need to look at the cost. We need to look at the cost to see where changes could be made. This could have been done through CCBG. The Strategic Alternatives Committee was charged to recommend alternatives to Mountain View option 2, building where additional pickleball courts were to be added at Lakeview. A board member hired a second architectural firm with the board's approval. I asked multiple times why CCBG was not contacted to see where changes could be made. There was no reason at all for CCBG to be eliminated. A few people on the SAC downplayed the auditorium by calling it a gym for basketball, and that's not what it was at all. There were so many possibilities to look at and consider with the option 2 plan. SAC continued to look at other plans and narrowed it down to the 2 that were to be presented at the town hall meetings. Plans M and B were to be presented. Guess what? 4 were presented after the SAC voted for only 2. I know you can easily guess what 2 were added without the SAC approval. The pickleball plans that were voted down because they weren't in the best interest in the residents of Sun City. We don't need big tournaments in Sun City to interfere with the recreational play of pickleball. Norm Dixon had it right in his letter in the November 29th Independent. If you haven't read it, you should take the time to do it. Everyone on the SAC has a lot of respect for Norm. His only agenda is to do what is in the best interest of Sun City. He has a calm way of making presentations without pushing his own personal agenda. I was shocked that Norm had been removed as chair for the town hall meetings. He was asked to step down, and when he refused, he was removed by the board president. Then another member that is on the Long Range Committee was then asked to chair this town hall meetings, pushed his personal plans, his own agenda, pickleball. Read the Independent and you will see that people are obviously up in arms about this pickleball nonsense. Norm said it right. These people will greedily eliminate anything they can to get their way. Considering that only 2% of Sun City residents play pickleball, what secret meetings are being held by the board that we all hear about? This board needs to be investigated because there certainly seems to be something they are hiding. I am saying, do not eliminate the plan option 2. Work with CCBG and see what they can come up. We spent enough money with that company.
Thank you.
David Clausen, 154961. I hear the passion in that last speaker's voice. I do not have the same level of concern. It's not, in my view, we are not pickleball versus on one side and non-pickleball on the other. We're better than that in Sun City, and I believe. In terms of this particular option 2 of SAC, it could be that could have been written a little more clearly. No big deal. But in what this is saying to me is that the option 2, which was very expensive, would have been a long process in the view of the present board, and I agreed with that. They made a motion to delay it so that they could look at alternatives, and that's what the Strategic Alternatives Committee did. Now, the timing wasn't great, and we didn't get to the point of doing a perfect, well, there was no consensus in that committee, and that was an issue, and there was a concern about consensus versus a majority vote. But in any case, what we have is option 2 with $400,000 or more. I honestly don't know what the number is, but a lot of money paid to the original architects. And those plans, if we paid for them, those plans should be ours. So whether we use those and build and use parts of that to replan or restructure, I voted to refurbish and to renovate Mountain View because it was in total a much more reasonably fiscally responsible plan in my view, and that's why I suggested that. Now, if I am not mistaken, there is the contract with CCBG was never terminated because we were in the process of looking at alternatives. But that fact that it's not been terminated might stand in the way of future bidding on work at Mountain View. And I think, Russ, that was the intent here, is that it's an impediment for us moving forward with Marlene or other architects and other contractors. So I don't know what needs to be done here, but I think I've said my say here, and I'm not sure what to vote on this one, frankly.
Thank you.
John Duvall, 125314. I was surprised tonight when I got here that there was no information, no handouts about the different proposals for Mountain View. It would be very helpful if everyone sitting here could see what we're really talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cheryl McLean, 100212, I believe. I am probably not going to be very popular here, but I think we need to stop everything, start all over. Spending $40 million on a facility is the Taj Mahal, and we're not for that. And on the lady that was very passionate, first of all, I don't think we need to be pointing, even if it's not by name, board members out or criticizing this board. I've been here 17 years, and this is the best board we've had in a very, very long time. So and I'm not a pickleball player, so I'm not going to go down that route one way or the other, but I don't think we need to be having a fight amongst all the different clubs here. I think we should just totally wipe out what's been done. Yes, maybe we've spent money, but in the long run, we will be saving money and I want to renovate Mountain View and not to tear it down and start over. And I want something done soon. And people have been waiting long enough, but I think we can get what we want by just renovating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill Pearson, 133438. I guess if you can get excited and be passionate, it can inflame the crowd. I can do that, but then we lose common sense and logic. Let's talk about option 2. All $42 million projected over 8 years to get it built. 8 years, $42 million. And that was before the inflation hit us, and then it was going to be 50 or 60. And so when the board, not one board member, but when the board of 9 took a vote and said, put it on the shelf, form the SAC, and let's start something that was more in our price range, we all went, yeah, that makes sense. Now, I'm going to be really blunt here. I'm a lawn bowler. The guy behind me is a lawn bowler. He's the president of a couple of lawn bowling clubs. He'll probably stab me in the back. That's okay. We'll still be friends. But the reality is that when we start evaluating what stays and what goes, we have to use the data. And if we don't, then we're fools. Because things that trend down continue to trend down. Things that trend up continue to trend up. That's your job. Russ, I'm going to tell you right now, your motion's out of order. You could have made a recommendation. Frankly, you ought to withdraw it. The board has the authority to stop the contract. You don't need our blessing to do it. You can do it. Put it on as a motion on the next membership meeting in December. Let everybody that's against it, all those passionate, the people that wanted the basketball court and the climbing wall and all the other happy hoo-yah that we were throwing in to that one that everybody thought was so good. Let's just be reasonable, let's be on point, and let's get it done. And I'm going to say the same thing that I said at one of the town hall meetings. Oh, by the way, this is the 7th open meeting for members this month. That's right. The 7th open meeting for members this month. Transparency? How transparent? How much more transparent? You want to see the plans for every one of the options at Mountain View? Go on the SAC committee. They're on there. They're all on there. There's nothing hidden, but you got to look. I'm sorry, but from a practical standpoint, and here's the point. I'm not a lawn bowler first. I'm not a pickleball player first. I'm not a golfer first. I'm an RCSC member first and foremost. Everything else that I do in this community is things I do. I care about this community, where we're going, where we're headed, and how we get there. And this board, for the first time in 15 years, has opened everything up and said, come on up, tell us what you want, tell us what you think, and then we'll make some decisions off of that. It doesn't get any better than that, guys. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of hard to follow that act. Good evening. My name is Pete Leitchik, rec number 108283. I am the president of the Fairway Mountain Bowl Club. I was also on the SAC committee. I also voted on the plans for the SAC committee, and I was very disappointed in the fact that our recommendation of the 2 plans and that were thrown aside, and 4 plans were thrown out there. However, we have two things going on here. One thing, and that is we're holding up one part of Fairway, and then there's no improvements being done to Fairway's club at all, and it needs it. It's 4 years overdue for replacement of the carpet, and nothing being done there. So I've been held at ransom on that one. And then the second part of it, and that is the recommendations, and that the $40 million Taj Mahal at one point in time. And we've also been a parking lot, and we've been other things in that in Mountain View. The Mountain View is unique, and that the people that are there that play at Mountain View and at our social group of the neighborhood, and that they like what they do, and they do it religiously every week, and they show up and they enjoy it. And that if you get by there some days, you'll smell a barbecue, you'll hear a lot of laughter and a lot of jokes. We don't care who wins, and that it's just a matter of a social gathering. The one thing that I look at is also, like Norm was saying, is the money. And that $40 million is way too much money for what it is. Plan M. Plan M is fiscally responsible. It has all the earmarks of success. It does have the fact that it is ready to go. The bottom line here in that, if you use the construction company that you had before on retainer, or if you go with another one, irregardless, it doesn't matter. You could have a win-win situation there. The thing with that plan is it gives a little bit to everybody, and that it just does not just say, okay, we're going to eliminate this and we're going with this. We all know that pickleball is going to be bigger and bigger and bigger in Sun City. But I think the fact that if you plant pickleball, not in 2 places, but you plant it in 1 or 2 or 3 different places, and fill it in where it can be filled in, and that is where it should be, not by eliminating individual sports of any sort. And as far as I'm concerned, and what we should be doing, looking at, is the Plan M. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Susan Chatterjee. My number is 121321. I also was a member of the SAC committee. I want to say, to think a little bit of clarity, the Plan M, that was the plan that the SAC committee came up after a long, long, long time, was never based on option 2, has nothing to do with option 2. That was, you can see online if you go online and look at the options. It was based on option 1, which was by the same, I believe, contractors. But option 2 was where literally the contractors were going to come in and wipe Mountain View off the map and then rebuild it slowly over 3 long stages over 8 years for an extended amount of money. Option M that we came up with, the Strategic Alternatives Committee, is wonderful. We keep most everything that's there. We make major improvements on the things that need improvements, such as the pool. We add in things that, according to facts, are growing sports and will be needed more than we have currently available facilities for. And pickleball was one of those. We increased pickleball from our current 7 courts to 17 courts, 8 of which will be undercover. So I'm not quite sure why we get a pushback on pickleball, because we more than doubled the number of courts. And the most important thing to me, the Performing Arts Center, which I feel has so much more use than simply to go and see a play, will be basically, although we call it a redo of the building, in reality, the plan was to basically blow the building out except for the main supports and rebuild it from scratch, all new, including theater seating, which we so need in Sun City. We could have all of our board meetings there, unless we need 500 people to attend. So, I think the Strategic Alternatives Committee did an awesome job coming up with Plan N, and that tapped out at about, the current estimate was $25 million, which fits within our current budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Norm Dixon, 2429. I hope the videos are running, because I'm going to agree with Bill Pearson. I think that there is not enough information. We had a Plan 2 originally that was going to be 40 million and above, and you just heard all about that. But at the town halls, we had an M and a Plan 2. All this says is stop Plan 2. Doesn't say which one. So I would ask Russ to withdraw your motion, because people here don't have enough information to make an intelligent decision on it. And we can do that if the second withdraws his second and you withdraw the motion, then we can move along and deal with this. The board's got the authority to handle C, C, B, and G and everything else. So if you would abide by that, I think we can get to the next topic.
Thank you.
John Duvall,
125, 314, and I'm an avid lawn bowler. I stand here tonight in favor of Plan M. This is one plan that has a professional planning and cost estimates for adding enhancements to our clubs without taking anything away. Other plans will include the removal of the Mountain View Green, which will cause the end of the Mountain View Lawn Bowling Club itself. No plan should be considered that removes a club from the RCSC. Although the fairway green is nearby, RCSC has failed to replace the very worn 15-year-old carpet that had an 8-year life expectancy. It has been budgeted twice for replacement, but as of today, there's been no schedule for that replacement. And like all other projects on hold, the cost increases each year due to the current inflation we are suffering from. Sun City, Arizona is recognized as having the best bowling greens in all of North America. In 2018 and 2019, we hosted the U.S. Open for lawn bowling, with approximately 500 bowlers attending from 15 countries each year. It is suggested that we hold the U.S. Open in Sun City on a permanent basis. Keeping all of our greens will allow this to happen and show to the world what a shining star we have in Sun City. You can please all of the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. This is what the RC board must contend with, and hopefully Plan M will provide the solution. We all win with Plan M.
Thank you.
The last but not least, Paul White, 1392, 13192. I've been here 27 years. First of all, I want to thank you folks for the time you volunteer and contribute to our good community, the greatest place in the world. There's a couple of things I'd like to suggest. One is it costs more in this day and age for everything. There's a time coming when we're going to have to charge people other than just golfers and bowlers. We're going to have to charge swimmers, tennis players, pickleball players, and almost everything if you're going to balance a budget. Number two thing I'd like to suggest is I don't play pickleball, I don't use Mountain View, but I do listen and watch what's going on. I would like to see you put all of the projects for Mountain View on the table and vote for something rather than vote against something. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I'm the passionate one, I understand. What I was saying, like Russ, is what I wanted was taken away, okay? And personally, I voted for Plan M, which was the new plan. So it's not like I am for that huge expensive project of option 2. That's not what I was for at all. I'm for considering letting CCBG come up with a smaller plan that works along with possibly Plan M, and just to see what they can come up with. I mean, that's just a suggestion, and that's all I have to say, and I agree with you, Norm, again.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys, one last comment. I do agree with Plan M also, but we're going to have 4 new board members that are going to be elected, and they come in January, and they're going to have all different opinions. Whether it's right or it's wrong, this board is tasked with doing something, and Plan M seems to be a viable option. So if you vote and get that started before your term is up, you satisfy everybody, because because we're going to have 4 new people come in, and we have no idea if they agree with this. It's the most viable plan that's been put through. So let's make a decision, right or wrong, and let's move forward.
Thank you. Are there any additional comments from the membership? Russ, did you have any additional comments?
So you can see how popular this was. CCBG started working on this in 2021, worked on it in 2022, we're in 2023. Bill's right. By the time we figure everything out, I'm thinking the greater good financially for everybody in this room and everybody that has these 2 zip codes of Sun City. Who wants to spend $50 to $60 million over the next 8 years of an old plan? The ideas for SAC is we created new alternatives. The new alternatives will be looked at, other architects, other construction companies, and bid on it competitively. We will answer everyone's questions if we can actually get to that stage of doing this. I'm trying to cancel out old information from 21 and 22 with a huge price tag that you've heard about already, only moving north of that. So to make life easier, since we've heard from 10 or 12 people, I'm going to say I will withdraw this. I want the board to decide that and kill the old information, and let's start fresh with what the committee, Strategic Alternative Planning, was to do. Let them do the work. They've worked it. The board gets the recommendations and the vote. That's where we're at. So I'll withdraw my motion so we can move forward on this and stop worried about the past, which was considered the famous CCBG Mountain View Option 2.
Okay. Are there any objections to Mr. Toman's withdrawal of his motion? Mr. Toman, your withdrawal is accepted. Okay. I will also make an observation that at the last board meeting, a motion was put forward to cancel the, to put away the former CCBG project for Mountain View, and also with regard to the intent to put pickleball at Lakeview. That was a motion, I believe, was made by Director Ruff. Yeah, and so it passed first read, and I'm sure he will bring it back for its second read in December. Okay. Okay, so that is all of the motions that were present. Before, there will be some announcements after I adjourn this meeting, so please hold on for a few minutes for that. Mr. Osher has his hand up. Mr. Osher, you would like to adjourn, sir? I would. Okay, well, seeing as there's no further business for the annual membership meeting, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. This meeting was slated for 2 hours to end at 8 o'clock. Let me make a couple of announcements, and if some members, I've been told a number of times today that some members only come to this meeting once a year, and so if those folks would like to step forward in a few minutes to make some comments, after I make my announcements, I will go ahead and open the floor for any comments that members, general comments that members would like to make. The next exchange meeting is December 4th, just a few days from now at 9 a.m. here at Sundial. The next board meeting is December 14th at 9 a.m., also here at Sundial. And the next annual membership meeting is March 12th, 2024 at 6 p.m. here at Sundial. All right. At this point, if members want to come to the microphone for any comments they wish to make, we will stay here until 8 p.m. Okay. I guess nobody.
Membership meeting, March 12th. I thought we could talk.
6 p.m.
Cheryl? Let me come here. Excuse us.
Give us 1 second, Cheryl, until we get the noise down.
Okay. We have a few members that wish to speak, so if you could exit quietly, we would appreciate it.
Guy who said, let's get the project
Give us just-
over before the members come in.
I'm going to wait and talk to you after.
This has been going on for how many years now?
Well,
6, 7
Me and here. Roger. Start anytime you want. Okay, my question is, how many proxies does a member need? Or how many, is there a maximum number of proxies you can have?
No.
When I went to the office to get the proxies, she said I could only have 10.
We'll look into that, Ms. McLean, and see what we can find out about that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hi.
Trudy Bryson, number 52140. Hello, Marcia. And I am president of the Sun City Ukulele Club. And we do have 150 members, and we had over 2,000 members participate in our club from January through October. So we're a very active club. And I would just like to say, yes, let's do Mountain View. We are very much in favor of Plan M. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ron Ensweiler, 134.
One moment, sir. Mr. Benzel, can I just have you take a seat for... Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
134829. I'm wondering, I saw in the paper that this, when a title changes, the fee is increased like $1,000. When homes sell for $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, and they're paying a set fee, that same fee for people who are buying lesser properties for under $200,000. Seems to me, can't there be maybe a proportion or a percent of the sale price that comes in rather than a set fee? It just seems to be more fair for people who could afford a $600,000 home rather than someone who is buying something around $200,000. Just doesn't seem right to me. I think some kind of percent is a better fee to assign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Ron Pasick, member 119179. I'm happy to see that the construction of the softball clubhouse is finally underway. Thank you. And I like to hope that Mountain View gets going too, that you're able to settle on Plan M, whatever that is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, well, if there are no other members who would like to make a comment, we'll go ahead and call this a day.
This is a copyrighted production of the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated and is intended for the sole purpose of informing our Recreation Center members. Any duplication, copying, transmission, broadcast, or use, including electronic and social media, is strictly prohibited without the prior written consent from the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated. Thank you for watching.